The following video is a private demonstration of the KansasKlipper tree shear. It has not been approved or sanctioned by the manufacturer and is not intended to be instructional. It is simply an informational video demonstrating how the KansasKlipper has helped me personally in brush and cedar cutting on my pastures.
This is a typical Central Texas cedar infestation, and this morning I'm going to give you a little demo of the KansasKlipper and how it can quickly take care of this sort of thing, lopping these blueberry cedars off at the ground. They'll never come back. Sizes ranging from as small as an inch up to 10-11 inch size trees, most of them being these little scrubs that are anywhere from 3 to 5 inches that you just can't quite do with lopping shears. Can't get in there with a chainsaw very easily. So anyway, here's a little demo. So I'll take a little break from the video here and go ahead and cut the rest of these real quick, and then I'll come back. Most of the time you can get them right down real close to ground level, but if you cut one that's a little higher than you like, it can just slide right back in. Pinch it off ground level. These little bushy scrubs are hard to get to with almost anything else, but you can slide right in, get underneath them. And even the little bitty ones, that's a good thing about this one. Most tree shears will not. They'll just pinch these little ones like this and leave them strings hanging up. You can get around this little tree right here. It's only 1 inch. Of course, you can do this one with loppers, but while you're in here, you can go ahead and just pinch it off, and you're done. You can even get these little bunches of salt cedars, which are really tough to cut with lopping shears. You can't do it with a chainsaw, but you can get right down around this thing take the whole thing off. Cuts it off clean. Algerita berry, cedar, all in one clump. Super hard to get to with anything else. We can get in here with this thing real easy. Just clip it all off at the ground. See there? Good clip. Another real nice feature about the KansasKlipper is it's set so far out in front of you that you can get up underneath these oak trees, which is where a lot of this cedar scrub problem persists with the birds depositing berries. As you see, I'm up underneath 5-6 feet underneath that tree, and I'm going in further. So I'm cutting a tree that's literally 7-8 feet underneath an oak tree right now. And I'm not even touching the oak tree. Can't do that with any other tree shear to my knowledge. Okay, now to demonstrate the real versatility, first of all, I got this little bitty, easy to clip with lopper, but I'm sitting right here, so I'll just take it off. Most of your tree shears will just strip this thing. They won't cut it. You'll be left with a little tree right where you tried to cut. We go from that, which is a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch tree, to the full size. This is about as maximum as it'll take in one bite. You can get bigger trees, I'll show you in a minute, but in one bite, that's about a 12-inch tree where I'm at right there. Like slicing butter. Okay, now as you can see, after about 35 minutes on the KansasKlipper tree shear, I've probably cut somewhere close to 100 cedar scrubs and some bigger trees, some tiny trees, a lot this size right here. It's right at the ground, up underneath the oak trees. Now I'll stack them and move them into the burn pile. good news is I don't have any root balls in this burn pile, which is a big problem. Once I burn it, it'll burn clean, no root balls left. Okay, just real briefly, once I get an area like this cut, I'll normally kind of drag them up in rows where I can get to them, and then KansasKlipper makes a real nice grapple, 2-cylinder grapple, but I already have a grapple, so I'm just using my old grapple, but basic concept is the same. I'll show you a brief. Just stack them in rows, run and grab as much as you can, then drop it in the burn pile. Here we go. So when you get to the bigger trees that you have down, you can use the same grapple to come snatch them and carry them to the burn pile. Usually works better if you drag these backwards so they don't get into your tractor. Here's a quick example of how you can get right up next to an oak tree within just a few inches and clip a cedar off without damaging the oak tree. The old fence line brush is always a real pain. Klipper will reach right on underneath the fence. Take off this old scrub brush. Nice and clean. Some people wonder, what do I do about these giant old cedars that are just sprawling like this one right here? Well, this is what I did to his brother yesterday. This one was probably 30 inches in diameter, had maybe 4 or 5 main branches coming out, and you just go in and you take a bite, you clip it, take another bite, you clip it, and eventually you can get it down to this. And the good news here is this won't come back. In a couple, 3 years, all this root system will rot, and I can come in here with my loader bucket and pop that thing right up, and it'll just be a rotted stump. That's if I want to. So anyway, KansasKlipper, it's the real deal.
The last video was an example of how you can pull the main bolt on the tree shear head, rotate it into a vertical position for vertical cuts even higher up in a tree as the example showed. Well, overall this video, about 15 minutes, is a short example of everything the KansasKlipper tree shear can do. It can do a lot more than what I've shown. But if you have any questions or need additional information, call us at American Fence and Supply Company in Georgetown, Texas anytime, and we'll fill you in on whatever questions you might have. Thanks for watching.